We are taking it from the top with Xenoblade Chronicles Cross, the definitive edition they claim. Um, I have been waiting a long time for this to come to Switch, and I had hoped they'd do it a lot sooner. Played this back on the Wii U in the day, and um, really got into it, but could never do any of the online stuff because the Wii U online servers were shut down. And so, um, yeah, just there was stuff that I couldn't get. There was, you know, uh, material tickets and different things. I've forgotten a lot about this game, and I'm kind of curious to see, is it really the definitive edition? Um, well, of course they claim it is, but have they improved it? Is it good? Are there, you know, reworks to different elements of it that make it like the best way to play this game? So we're going to kick it off from the top with a new game. Also, I'm trying to figure out how to stream. It's been quite a while. So a little bit of patience would be appreciated, but at the same time, I'm here to have some fun. I'm very tempted to take on I want to 100% the game. I remember enjoying it greatly back in the day. So I'm just curious to see if that old spark is still there for Xenoblade Chronicles Cross. And while the intro is playing here, this is still my favorite Xenoblade game. I think. I found the other ones a little bit weird, maybe. Xenoblade 2 was an enormous disappointment. I played it on the Switch. The graphics were just horrible. The Switch didn't seem like it could handle what they were doing with it. The user interface was horrible, and I was like, why is it so bad? And I looked it up. It turns out that they stole a lot of the UI team to work on Breath of the Wild. And that's why the map and everything was just garbage in Xenoblade 2. You know, my opinion. But there was a lot I didn't like about it. Torna, the Golden Country, they made improvements. I remember that being a bit better. And but to be honest, just compared to X or Cross, I might call it X a lot. Compared to that, okay, so I will say this: Xenoblade Chronicles, the definitive, I accidentally ordered that before I got Xenoblade Chronicles Cross because they're the same exact name except for an X in them, and I ended up with the wrong game getting delivered here. And I almost kept it because that game is also very good. Like, I know it gets very good.
Their weapons were terrifying and powerful,
but Cross, in my opinion, is different from the others and is just better. And it's really deep. It's really fun. I love the scale. I love the world. Something about it. The other games just didn't feel the same. They were very episodic, story-based. And I don't know. Correct me if you think I'm wrong on that one, but they just felt so limited compared to the freedom that you get in Chronicles Cross.
We leapt from our cradle.
If you've never seen the story, basically Earth gets attacked by xenoform aliens, and you are part of a survivor group that escaped on the White Whale, drifted in space,
the White Whale.
Eventually get attacked and crash land right back down to an alien planet.
We spent 2 years wandering in space.
Humanity, the last shreds of humanity, as far as we know, are just surviving on a brand new planet.
But our past caught up with us.
You know, the story picks up from there. I think it's interesting. I'm a fan of sci-fi stories,
The alien verse
so
was
I think
unrelenting.
it's pretty good.
If not for the efforts of a lone hero, we would never have survived. Our ship took heavy damage. We lost control. With our flight systems down, the white whale was pulled into the gravitational field of a nearby planet, its hull shattering and breaking to pieces as we plummeted toward the surface. Since then, 2 months have passed.
All right, who are we gonna play? I'm gonna play generic dude. That's just gonna be how it is. Do we give him like purple hair or something? I don't know. I'm not too big into like character creation and stuff like that. I know some people might be. But I wish I was a little bit taller. Ha! I'm leaving it right here. We're gonna go decent. It's all decent. Hairstyle. Little spiky haired dude. Emo looking kid. This dude with a mean part. At first I thought that was like a wound, a gash on his head. Not bad for back in the day of the old Wii U character creation system. I'm actually doing some game dev of my own, and I appreciate things with whole new eyes these days. Hopefully we can talk about that at some point. This is the new style. I think they redid the eyes and stuff for Cross. It's the new style, a little more anime cartoony, maybe. I'm gonna go with this. Green eyes are cool and all. Going blue. Let's see. He doesn't need makeup. Voice. How do you play? Let's see. How do you play the voice?
Victory is ours. Huh? Let's get this started. I've been staggered.
Oh, I don't mind that one. That's not horrible. We're gonna go with that, and we're gonna confirm. So my thought is to kick off like the first hour, and we'll see how it goes. At the moment, we'll get the character made, step out of stasis, and
Attention, external access confirmed. Disengaging stasis in
become
10
alive.
seconds. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Releasing hatch. Please stand clear.
Hey there. Looks like you're all in one piece. Careful. Just take it nice and slow, okay? Your senses will need time to reactivate.
You get Elma rescuing you from a pod.
Your pod is the only one around that landed intact.
Um,
Good
Elma's
thing I
such a
found you.
great character, I think.
My name's
That's the
Elma.
other thing I really like about this game
You
is
wanna tell
the
me yours?
characters. Some of the other games, they just went wild with the characters.
You don't even remember your
Interesting,
own name?
kind of provocative,
Must
somewhat.
be the stasis hangover.
The
That's
original
not good.
Xenoblade Chronicles, pretty cool characters.
Just try and focus,
Xenoblade
alright?
2, they really did something different. But this game, I thought had pretty good characters. Tatsu being a little bit controversial, but we'll see how that goes. What are we going to name our guy? Ooh, um, oh boy. What name would you put in right now? I had a name that I like. I'm gonna go with uh, Zenik. Yeah, I like that. I like that. I'm gonna go with that.
Good, there we go. What else you remember? It'll come. In the meantime, I'll get you up to
So
speed
mostly
here
this
as best I
first
can.
episode here, I'm
How
kind
are
of
your
kicking
limbs?
off
Can you move?
streaming and trying to figure out how to make things clear and so on.
We'll take
And
it easy while you
unfortunately, my
shake the
real job,
stasis out of
well,
your
my day
system.
job is creeping up on me.
One step at
So
a time, all
in
right?
just a second here, I'm
First
going
things first.
to,
You'll be needing a weapon.
I'm actually going to have to close this one
There you
and
go.
pick it up
All right,
maybe
let's get
tomorrow.
going.
For the maybe one or two viewers that are actually out there. This has been a long time to revive this channel, and we did actually get a few views back in the day, but really looking forward to just taking this thing and seeing where it goes. A lot of basic tutorial stuff here. This game goes really deep, and they try not to dump it on you all at once. They do a pretty good job, but at the same time, it can be kind of overwhelming. Next thing you know, you're ending up in forums and trying to figure out what to do with your builds and your skills and your abilities, and
Most of the white whale's life pods didn't
yeah,
survive
they
the
have
crash.
a lot of stuff, and that's probably
We're
what
one of
makes
the
it
lucky
great.
few. Right. You don't even remember the white whale, do you? You know, the L002? The ship we escaped Earth on? You remember Earth, right? Planet Earth. Your homeworld. Or rather, it used to be anyway.
Kind of a classic
Unfortunately,
trope
was caught
is
in
to
a
have
battle
the main
between two alien
character, you know,
forces.
have amnesia and you forget everything.
destroyed.
Movies do this, yeah, games do this. Because there's something about discovery, I think. I think that's the reason people like that storyline. Perhaps it's because
Ring any
you're
bells?
discovering who you are. You're trying to remember what's going on, and we all like it's like the beginning of a
Don't feel
survival crafting game, right? It
Just
seems
one
like
memory
everybody
I'd
loves
like
to
to
start,
forget.
just start a new world, start a new build. It's because we,
I know.
yeah,
It's been
I don't
following
know.
me for a
We
while
enjoy that
now.
sense of fresh
Didn't want to alarm
discovery.
you, but we're going to need to defend ourselves. You up to the task?
The combat system, I did not get this back in the day. I wanted this to be Zelda. I wanted to just run out there and swing my sword, and I wanted to you know, dodge and roll and block with a shield and all that other stuff. And I still think this would be an amazing game in that vein as well. It'd become very much like an Elden Ring sort of thing with the scale of monsters that they do. This is MMO style combat, and it took me a while to get it. The disconnect between your character swinging his weapon and hitting the enemy. I mean, you can be standing 10 feet away and slash him with a knife, and it's confusing. But once you get it, this game's type of combat, you have special abilities, and you're basically trying to use them at the right time, and you're doing stacking levels of damage where if you can do an ability to stagger an enemy and they can do another one to topple them, well, once they're toppled, they take exponentially more damage, and you have to have that stuff working for the bigger bosses. So it's about using arts and target them with a shoulder button. You draw your weapon. You respond to a soul challenge, which gives you different effects or bonuses. This is called for, so we're going to use that, pass the challenge. And you have two types of weapons in the same. You have your ranged and you have your melee. And so right now I only have, do I only have, no, I do have a knife, okay. And ranged arts won't charge up unless you're using your ranged weapons, and melee arts won't charge up unless you're using your melee weapon. And position actually matters. So where you are, some arts hit harder if you're hitting from the side, or if you're attacking from the back. And so you're moving yourself around the battlefield, and you're also trying to manage, who's getting aggroed and who can handle tanking damage and so on.
Let's keep moving.
Yeah, when I first played it was not my style of thing, and I kind of didn't like it until I began to see what was going on. Soul voices. They are instructions, suggestions, or requests that your party members call out in the heat of battle. Successfully responding to them triggers various useful boons. So they'll highlight an art on your palette and say, hey, use this one. Oh, they highlight. The highlight is the one that your ally is calling for. So if you're doing something complementary to what they are, you can use arts that, for example, they will do a stagger and then you can do a topple. That's how that system works. Oh, and healing. Healing was another thing that was super confusing. I just didn't know how to heal your character. So cooperating with your teammates does provide some healing, and you also gain affinity with characters. So yeah, there's a lot going on to this whole thing. It takes a bit to remember it and get back into it. Well, that's where I'm going to drop it for now. Looks like there's some collectibles out there to explore, but I'm looking forward to getting into it later. I've done a little bit of playing just to try to remember what I'm doing, so there's some other saves here, but we're going to be using this bottom save and pick it back up, see how we like it. That's all for now.